Hey guys, Project Lua here with our second Roblox Lua scripting tutorial. I'm going to cover if statements and else if and just stuff like that. And I'll also be explaining how to use these and why you would want to, because they are very important. So, just insert a script. And we're going to start off by typing if. So, if 2 plus 2 equals 4, then it's going to print equals 4. So this is going to basically say if 2 plus 2 equals 4, if that is true, then it's going to run whatever inside of here. So in our case, it would print equals 4. So if we run this, why would I disable that? Huh. Okay, anyways, it's gonna print equals 4. So now we're gonna say else print does not equal 4. So now we're gonna check if 2 plus 2 equals 5. Then if this is true, then it's gonna print equals 4. But if it's not true, which it isn't, it's going to print does not equal 4. So it now prints it does not equal 4. And then lastly, there is I'm actually going to delete this for now. So let's do 5. If var equals 5, then print var equals 5. And then we just did else, the else statement. So now we're going to do else if var equals 10, I guess, then it's going to print var equals 10. So let's see what the output prints out. Prints out var equals 5, because it's going to check if this variable equals 5, then it's going to print var equals 5. Else if it equals 10, then it's going to print it equals 10. And then else, so this would mean, if we add another else, this would mean that if it does not equal 10, or if it does not equal 5 or 10, then print var does not equal 5 or 10. So let's change this to 10, and it should print var equals 10. It does. Now let's change it to 7. Var does not equal 5 or 10. So that's basically it. You can replace these with other symbols just to how you would like. But what this is used for is basically you can check if a value equals something. So let's say you have if you want to teleport to the top and then teleport down. So how I do it is I check the frame's text, and if the text equals like move up, then it's gonna move that thing up. Else, then it's gonna move down. I hope you guys understood that. But I'm not sure there's any more else to go on this. I guess we can do loops in this tutorial. So there's that. Just if you guys want to go back to that. So I guess we're going to begin loops. So there's several kinds of loops. You got while loops, you got for loops, and let's see. Dang. Yeah. Well, there's two kinds of for loops: index and value, and then there's a for I guess for value equals starting point, ending point, and then the increments. And there's another loop that I can't think of. I guess I'll think of it on the way. But anyways, we're gonna start off with the while loop. So the while true do loop, it loops as long as a value is true. Oh, that's what it was. I just remembered. Repeat. Alright, so a while loop loops as long as the value is true. So while true, this is just for an example so you can see. So while true do, print hi. So this is going to basically crash the server or crash Roblox Studio if I run this, because it's going to try to print hi as fast as it can, which would eventually crash it. To solve this, you can just do wait and however long. Wait itself with no number inside of it works. It's good enough to keep it from crashing. So if we test this out, the output should go crazy and start printing hi over and over again, like it just did. So that's the while true do loop, and you want to replace this true statement with, well, I guess you could do while 2 plus 2 equals 4. And that would work the same. But I just want to show you guys something really fast. Local var equals 5. Actually, I'm just gonna keep that there for now. I'll show you in a different loop. So I'll leave that. So that's basically a while loop. And now we're going to do a for index and value loop. Now this may look kind of confusing if you're just starting off scripting, but they come in handy a lot. So for I, or a lot of people do underscore, I've just always done I. So for I, comma v in pairs. This is basically, it can be used for tables, and that's what I think it's primarily used for. But you can also search children of models and stuff. So if we insert a model into workspace, name it parts, and then do that, and then that, we can name this one B, and then A, and put that into the parts model. So if you want to, I'm gonna get into tables later, so I'm not even gonna start with that right now. I just think it'll confuse you. But you can do this to loop through children of a model. So workspace dot parts get children. You have to do this get children part, otherwise it won't work. Not then there. So now we're gonna print v dot name. So it's gonna print the value, whatever it looped through right here. It's gonna print that name. So it should print A and then B. Okay. And it does. It prints A and B into the output, because that's what these parts are called. So that's I guess you could call it a for I index value loop. I don't know what you call that. And then the second for loop is also used for like you could use it for making a frame disappear smoothly. It works really well with that instead of having to type out frame.transparency equals 0.1 wait, and then copying that and then just adding a little bit of value to it. So with this, it's much easier. You can just do for the value. This can be named anything, by the way. I'm just gonna name it value. And so can this up here. This can be named anything, but you make sure whenever you find it, you type in name with it. So for val equals, so we have our start point, which let's just do 100. Yeah, let's do 10. 10 comma 0. 0 is, or the second argument is the endpoint, the destination point. So we're going to start at 10 and it's going to try to end at 0. But the script needs to know how to get to 0, so we're going to subtract 1. So that's our increment, going down by 1. So let's just local message equals instance dot new message comma workspace message. Okay, now we're going to do message dot text equals you will die in I forget what this is called, concatenation or something. I can't even pronounce it, but anyways, it's something like that. So message, or no, you will die in val seconds. So this is basically going to run this code. It's going to say, alright, we're at 10, so it's going to run through this and say you will die in 10 seconds, and then wait 1, then it's going to subtract 1 and say you will die in 9, 8, 7, so forth. So if we run this, you will die, and it's going to start counting down the seconds. And then once it reaches the ending number, I guess you can program it to do whatever you want. So, and I think you guys can tell how that would be useful for like making a frame transparency like fade in. I may do that in a later tutorial whenever I start my how-to series on like GUIs and stuff like that. But for now, I think this was just a good representation. So block that out. And we only have one left, so we're going to, let's say, local num equals 10, I guess. So repeat wait until num it's not equal equals 15. That works. Repeat wait until that equals 15. So now we're going to say print the num value does not equal 15 yet. Now we're going to type num equals num plus 1. I think that will work. Let's see. It may not though. 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, it worked. Alright. And then print the num value now equals 5. So what this script is saying is num equals 10. Number num. Okay. So it equals 10. So it's going to run this code right here. And the difference between while true do and a repeat, the main difference is that a while true do, it detects if a value is true first, at like while true do, and compared to the repeat loop, the repeat loop checks after it already ran the code. So that's the difference between repeat and while true do. So it's going to run this code, and it's going to increase the num value by 1 each time it runs it. So it's going to say, alright, we run it, the num value equals 11, but it does not equal 15 yet, so run it again, equals 12, does not equal 15, 13, 14, and once it finally gets the 15, and once the num value finally gets the 15, it should print the num values now 15, not 5. So you can see the output. I think you guys will be able to see that. But anyways, it prints the num value does not equal 15 5 times, and then it finally prints the num value now equals 15. So I hope you guys could understand that. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments. Let's see. I think I went over all of this stuff. So we did else's statements and then loops. So not bad for this tutorial. Alright guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, comment. Feel free to comment if you have any questions. I'll be sure to reply to you as fast as I can. Thanks. See you.